Before we begin, take a breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. For the next few minutes, let this story be your quiet space, a reminder that peace isn't something you chase, it's something you uncover. If you find meaning here, subscribe, because what we're exploring together is not motivation, it's awakening. You are not as trapped as your mind makes you feel. Every day, invisible threads pull you in all directions, deadlines, messages, expectations, opinions. You scroll through the noise, searching for something that will finally make you feel complete. But instead, you feel heavier. The more you try to hold on, the more life seems to slip through your fingers. And the harder you try to control it, the more it controls you. 2,500 years ago, a quiet man named Lao Tzu noticed the same pattern. He saw people chasing power, money, and certainty, and in that chase, losing themselves. So he wrote down a few words, almost whispers, collected in a small book called the Tao Te Ching. In it, he revealed something that still shocks the modern mind. The greatest power is not control. It's detachment. But what does that really mean? To detach is not to stop caring. It's to stop clinging. It's to act fully while staying free from the storm of outcomes. It's the ability to be in the world, but not owned by it. When you understand detachment, you stop being pulled by extremes. Success and failure lose their power to define you. You begin to move like water, soft yet unstoppable. Water is the oldest teacher of Tao. It doesn't fight obstacles, it flows around them. It doesn't rush, yet it always reaches the ocean. That's the paradox of power through softness. When you learn to let go, life no longer feels like resistance, it becomes rhythm. Modern science now echoes this ancient wisdom. When you cling too tightly to an outcome, your brain enters survival mode. The amygdala floods your body with stress hormones. Clarity vanishes. You make reactive choices that push what you want even further away. But when you release the attachment, your nervous system relaxes. Creativity returns. The mind becomes fluid again. Lao Tzu described it beautifully. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Detachment is not loss, it's transformation. Think of the times you wanted something so badly, a relationship, a job, a dream, that you squeezed it until it broke. Desire turned into fear. Love became control. You were chasing freedom but tightening the cage. The Tao teaches another way. Prepare deeply, act sincerely, and then release the outcome into the current of life. What is meant for you flows toward you when you stop chasing it. There's an old story of a farmer whose horse ran away. His neighbors said, "Such bad luck." The farmer simply replied, "Maybe." The next day, the horse returned, bringing with it 3 wild stallions. "Such good luck," the neighbors said. The farmer answered again, "Maybe." A few days later, his son tried to tame one of the new horses, fell, and broke his leg. "Terrible luck," they cried. "Maybe," he said. Then war came, and every able young man was drafted except the farmer's injured son. The wisdom of that story lies not in passivity, but in perspective. The farmer lived detached, not indifferent, but trusting that he could not yet see the whole picture. Detachment is the art of not judging the moment before it matures. In the Taoist view, life is not a ladder to climb, it's a dance to join. When you fight to control every step, you miss the rhythm. When you relax into it, life begins to move with you. But detachment doesn't mean laziness. It demands awareness. You act, but you don't obsess. You give your best, but you release the rest. A modern entrepreneur once lost everything in a financial crash. His empire collapsed, his family left, his name was forgotten. Most would have drowned in despair, but he said something remarkable. "I haven't lost anything. I've just been freed from everything that was weighing me down." Within a few years, he built something greater, calmer, wiser. His success the second time didn't come from hunger, it came from peace. He stopped chasing results and started perfecting the process. That is Tao in motion, strength born from surrender. Detachment also changes your relationship with time. The anxious mind lives either in the past, rewriting what cannot be rewritten, or in the future, fearing what may never happen. The detached mind lives in the present, where action actually exists. To detach is to return to now. In every moment, you have two options: grasp or flow. Grasping leads to tension, flowing leads to clarity. Look at a musician lost in a song, or an athlete in perfect motion. They are detached from fear and self-consciousness. They are not thinking, "What if I fail?" They are simply being. This state of effortless alignment is what the Taoists call Wu Wei, action without struggle. It is the secret behind great art, great leadership, great love. The best work doesn't come from control. It comes from communion. When you disappear into the doing becomes divine. But there's another enemy of detachment, the ego. The ego thrives on control, comparison, and validation. It needs to be right, to be admired, to win. Yet every time you feed it, you lose touch with your deeper self. The ego says, "If I let go, I'll lose power." The Tao whispers, "Only when you let go will you find it." Every argument you could have walked away from but didn't, every grudge you held until it burned you, those were moments when ego triumphed over peace. Detachment is choosing peace over being right. It's the quiet strength of one who knows that truth doesn't need to shout. And here's the paradox. The more detached you become from approval, the more magnetic you are. People sense calm the way they sense warmth. You become a mirror that reflects without judgment. And in that reflection, others see themselves more clearly. This principle applies to love as well. When you cling to someone out of fear of losing them, you suffocate connection. Love grows in freedom, not possession. In Taoism, even failure becomes sacred. The detached person doesn't see failure as humiliation, but as information. When you stop tying your worth to outcomes, you can learn without fear. You start to see that the universe isn't punishing you, it's polishing you. Modern neuroscience supports this too. People who practice mindful detachment have lower cortisol, higher serotonin, and stronger decision-making centers in the brain. Their emotions still exist. They simply don't command. Their minds adapt faster to change, recover quicker from loss, and find solutions from stillness. To train detachment, start small. When you want to check your phone during silence, pause instead. When a plan collapses, don't rush to fix it. Observe it. When someone criticizes you, before defending yourself, breathe once. Each pause is a thread cut from the web of attachment. Another exercise is the as-if technique. Prepare deeply, then act as if success is guaranteed and irrelevant at the same time. You care enough to show up, but not enough to drown in outcome. Paradoxically, that balance makes you perform at your best. And finally, the water question. Whenever you face resistance, ask yourself, what would water do? Would it force its way through, or would it find another path? That question alone can dissolve half your problems. Detachment is also about embracing emotion instead of running from it. The more you resist an emotion, the more it persists. The Tao invites you to let feelings move through you like wind through an open window. Anger, fear, sadness, they are not enemies. They are passing weather. Observe them, and they dissolve. Fight them, and they stay. The ancient masters understood this long before therapy and self-help. To feel deeply without drowning is the essence of strength. When you no longer fear your own emotions, the world loses its power to shake you. Many people believe the opposite of attachment is indifference. It isn't. Indifference is numbness. Detachment is clarity. The detached person still cares, still loves, still dreams, but they are no longer slaves to those emotions. They hold them lightly, like a bird that can rest on the hand because it knows it's free to fly. The greatest illusion the modern mind carries is that control equals safety. But the tighter we grip, the more fragile we become. Real power lies in flexibility, in trusting that we can handle whatever comes, even when it's unknown. The Taoists called this returning to the root, to live simply, to find joy in the ordinary, to see that contentment doesn't come from adding more, but from needing less. In a world that rewards ambition, this sounds almost rebellious, but true freedom always is. You don't need to renounce the world to live the Tao. You can practice it in traffic, in a meeting, in an argument, in silence. Every moment offers a chance to loosen your grip just a little more. When you detach, you rediscover the natural rhythm of existence. You realize that storms pass without your permission, flowers bloom without your planning, and the sun rises no matter your worry. The universe is not waiting for your control, it's waiting for your cooperation. Maybe right now you're holding on to something too tightly. A dream, a relationship, a version of yourself that's no longer real. Maybe you think letting go means losing it forever. But look closer. The things that are truly yours never need to be forced. The things meant to leave will leave anyway. Detachment is simply learning to stop fighting what was always beyond your control. Lao Tzu once said, "He who tries to shine dims his own light." The more you push, the more resistance you create. The more you trust, the more effortlessly things unfold. And perhaps this is the deepest secret of detachment. It's not about changing the world around you, but changing the relationship you have with it. The same storm that drowns one person can teach another how to sail. The same silence that terrifies one heart can heal another. So the next time life feels unbearable, remember, the way out is not through control, but through surrender. Detachment doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to the natural intelligence of life itself. If you listen closely, beneath the noise of ambition, fear, and desire, there's a quiet voice inside you that already knows what to do. That voice is the Tao speaking through you. You don't have to chase peace. You just have to stop running from it. If these words found you at the right time, if they stirred something deep within, take a moment, breathe, reflect, and remember this truth. The most powerful thing you can do is let go. And if you'd like to keep walking this path of insight and calm, subscribe and stay with me. There are more teachings to come, not from any religion, but from the timeless wisdom of being human. Because in the end, Taoism isn't about ancient China. It's about you. It's about this moment. It's about water finding its way, and you remembering that you are water.